remember the NBA Street video games back in the day? Now, that's when EA created some bad-to-the-bone games, with some of the best players in the NBA making plays that are just too hard for the league and just right for the streets. Behind-the-back passes, crazy dunks that should automatically win the dunk contest, passes in between the legs, and of course, plays so nasty your mother would have a heart attack. This is NBA Street Ball moments made by the elite. Lonzo Ball in the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Los Angeles Clippers. Lonzo tries to put up a pass to his teammate, but with two defenders in his way, who does he think he is, Chris Paul? Well, after this play, I guess so. The ball gets rejected midair after Lonzo passes the ball, but I guess the defense forgot you had to actually get the ball back, because in between three defenders, Lonzo finds his way back to it and throws a one-handed behind-the-back pass bullet to his open teammate who gets the easy bucket on a not-so-easy play. If Street Ball had a game today, my guy Lonzo has to be in it, as long as it was during his Laker days, because ever since he was traded, my guy has had knees of jelly.
Forge back into the lead, back pass by Zoe. Look at this! Behind the back!
LaMelo Ball in the Charlotte Hornets versus the Indiana Pacers. LaMelo dribbles into the defense like nobody's business, then backs off, confusing the two defenders guarding him. LaMelo throws a one-handed no-look pass to his teammate for the easy dunk. But did you see the score though? With the Hornets losing that bad, might as well make it NBA Street. Ball brothers back-to-back street ball jams.
This is the other thing that's impressive. Like literally everyone for the Pacers who's played has played.
Terrence Ross in the Toronto Raptors versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Raptors have the ball. A teammate passes it to Terrence, who is wide open in the paint. He was so open, my guy did a 360 spin dunk. I know every mom watching their son's team getting dunked on like that was feeling some type of way. The teammates were so hyped. They jumped up and locked arms like this was choreographed, straight out of NBA Street. T-Ross, baby. Giannis Antetokounmpo in the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Atlanta Hawks. Really, this play is all Giannis, no Bucks. Giannis decides to go for the bucket. Two defenders in the way, no problem. Giannis spins past the first defender. Then the second defender looks like he's gonna block the shot. Giannis fakes where he's putting the ball in midair and goes around the defender. Do you know what type of wingspan you need to do that? The wingspan of the Greek Freak. I couldn't do that in my sleep.
Hit by Hill, spins his way inside and scores. What a
Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets versus the Portland Trailblazers. A Nuggets player has the ball, guarded by Portland Trailblazer CJ McCollum. No problem. Through the legs pass to an open Nikola for the easy bucket. Well, it was contested, so it wasn't too easy, but Nikola put in the work. Street ball, baby.
Have made their statement here in game two.
Paul George in the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Phoenix Suns. It's a loose ball. Every player on the court is diving for it. It ends up in the hands of Oklahoma. Paul George with the ball, but instead of dunking it, he takes it street and passes it off the backboard so that his teammate can get the dunk. Sheesh, we need a new NBA Street ASAP.
Making things happen. Boy, look at this here. 3 right shirts off the backboard.
Kyle Kuzma and the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Boston Celtics. A Lakers teammate passes the ball to Kyle. Marcus Smart is the Boston player defending. Kyle hits a spin move on Marcus and cuts to the paint. Two Boston defenders block Kyle's path to the basket. No problem. Kyle slides a behind-the-back pass to Larry Nance Jr. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Just like they developed in NBA Street. Now, let me tell you something. The Lakers a few years back were stacked with young talent. Instead of trying to develop the talent they drafted, they traded them all away for some grandpa players in the bubble championship. Yes, I'm talking about LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
He's looking to put that thing up.
Well, Smart able to switch that screen, so Kuzma taking advantage. Right in the back to net.
Carmelo Anthony in the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Atlanta Hawks. Carmelo has the ball. The Atlanta defender can't keep up, and as Anthony steps forward, the defender falls to the ground for a wide-open three from Carmelo Anthony. The disrespect is real.
In the corner by the Hawks. Ilyasova dives. Anthony says, "Thank you."
The Denver Nuggets versus the Boston Celtics. A Denver player gets the ball. As he's getting chased down by a defender on the baseline, he throws a behind-the-back pass to his teammate for the easy score. They don't teach this in the league.
Gallo tight ropes. Behind the back.
John Wall and the Washington Wizards versus the New York Knicks. Or should I say, John Wall by himself. John dives in between two defenders and gets out alive. One defender to go. The defender jumps up to protect the rim, but John does a 360 spin off the defender's stomach for the bucket. Now that has to be worth 100 bonus points. On the screen, that's a finisher right there. NBA Street style. It feels like yesterday seeing John Wall fly through defenders, taking down teams on his own. He put Washington on his back for so long. He just isn't the same playmaker anymore.
First basket of the second half. It's a 13-point game. Wall.
The New York Knicks versus the Orlando Magic. The Knicks have the ball. A Knicks player passes it to number 4 on his team, and he decides to walk on air just to dunk. Pause. My guy, who walks on air? Like this player legit did walking motions mid-air, straight out of an anime. He should be the new villain for One Piece. You can see J.R. Smith in the background witnessing greatness. If I was on the opposite team watching this happen live, I'm telling the coach to take me out right there. I'll take LeBron and Jordan over a player walking on air any day.
All around the ball. White throws it down.
Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks versus the Los Angeles Clippers. Luka takes the ball down the court, confuses the defender with a behind-the-back dribble, then takes a contested three on one leg. One-legged Luka is out here better than two-legged Zion. This ball had hang time too, like bonus points NBA Street style. Luka is the one boss level you keep losing to, because no matter how many times you prepare for the level, you just can't defend a shot like that.
The more and more you see him, the more you're going to like him.
Luka gets the triple on the move.
The Portland Trailblazers versus the Los Angeles Lakers. A Portland player has the ball, does a little shake and bake, pushes past the defender with dribbles so smooth he makes the defender fall and gets the open, in-your-face bucket. Whew. I don't remember the last time I've seen a player not named Damian Lillard put somebody on skates like that. It was NBA Street smooth, baby. My guy had points for the handles, making the defender fall and making the shot, all while the defender watched from the ground. Now that's what I call front row seats, baby. Baron Davis and the Los Angeles Clippers versus the Indiana Pacers. Baron with the crazy dribble moves, handles so street. The defender doesn't even know what to do. He spins behind the defender, make that three, defenders. As Baron falls to the floor, he throws a behind-the-back pass to his teammate for the easy dunk. Phew, that pass was too brutal for the league. Dishing dirty dimes like that will make your mother cover her eyes. But when it comes to NBA Street, that was a chef's kiss. Man, I miss my guy Baron Davis. If you put him on the teams Chris Paul has been choking on lately, those teams probably would have won a ring. That's facts, no printer.
Baron, a beautiful spin. Gets the ball to DeAndre. He got it.
Chris Paul and the Phoenix Suns versus the Denver Nuggets. Phew, I didn't even know Chris was next on the list. Let's see if Chris can beat Baron on this one. CP3 has the ball, giving the defender a show the handles. The shot clock is going down. CP3 moves inside the three-point line, confusing two defenders. The lane is wide open like the Red Sea, and CP3 dishes a dirty dime to his teammate for the easy dunk. Ooh, CP3 or Baron Davis on this one. I'll let you decide who gets more NBA Street credibility.
He'll dance.
The Minnesota Timberwolves versus the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs committed a turnover. The Minnesota player passes it to his teammate for the 360 dunk. Straight up disrespectful. NBA Street style. Somebody give my guy bonus points for that one. Even though they did the Spurs dirty on that play, the Spurs still have more rings than Minnesota because the Timberwolves have 0. It's okay to lose a battle if you win the war. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Till next time, peace and stay elite.